Bristol Community College, Mathematics with Dan Avedikian, Math 060, Topics in Developmental Mathematics, Section 4.9, Problem 10. This is Section 4.9, Problem 10. It says John invests $3,000 at 10% interest compounded quarterly. How much will he have in 3 years? So the first thing you need to do with any of these finance questions is determine which of the two formulas you need to use. There's a simple interest formula, there's a compound interest formula. This one mentions how frequently the investment is compounded, so that totally zeroes you into, you've got to use the compound interest formula, which is A equals P times 1 plus R over N to the N times T exponent. So now we have to fill that one in. So A is the final amount, that's what we want to figure out. P is the initial investment, which for this problem is $3,000, times, open the parentheses, put in a 1, plus R, the rate as a decimal. So my rate is 10%. As a decimal, 10% is 0.10. I don't really need the 0 at the end. I can call it 0.1. But 10%, 0.10, it just looks so much better as 0.10, so I'll just leave it like that. So N is the number of times compounded per year. So the type of compounding we have is quarterly. Quarterly is 4. 4 times a year, the bank will take the interest that you've earned and put it into your account, so it'll earn interest too. So N type of compounding, N will be 4 for quarterly compounding. My exponent, N again, for the quarterly compounding is 4 times T. T is time in years. So for this problem, the investment is in for 3 years, so T is 3. So that's how it fills in. Now, you have a lot of operations going on. You have to do them in the correct order. You have to refer to your order of operations. There's no operation indicated between the 3,000 and the parentheses, but it's understood to be multiply. So it's 3,000 times the parentheses. You have a few things going on in the parentheses, a divide and add. There's an exponent, a multiplying the exponent. Whenever you have parentheses, parentheses must be done first, for sure. So I do have parentheses. Let me do the work in parentheses first. Even within the parentheses, there are two operations. There's an add, and this fraction represents a divide. Divide must be done before add. So that 0.10 over 4 is easily done with a calculator. Enter the numerator of 0.10, divide by 4, so that should be 0.025. So the 3,000 will stay in front. 1 plus the result of this division is 0.025. Close the parentheses, and I might as well just make the exponent a 12. I mean, technically, I can wait until I'm done with the parentheses, but I can make it a 12. 4 times 3 makes 12. Now, finish your work in your parentheses, do the addition. 1 plus 0.025 is simply 1.025. So A equals the 3,000 stays in front of the parentheses. And when you do the addition, you get 1.025. The exponent is 12. So now we're down to two operations. There's a multiply between the 3,000 and the parentheses. And the parentheses are raised to an exponent of 12. So it's the parentheses times itself 12 times. Not times 12. 1.025 times 1.025 times 1.025 over and over again 12 times. That's something you want a calculator for sure. So with your calculator, you will either enter the base of 1.025 and press an exponent button that may look like that up arrow, and then the exponent of 12 equals. Depending on the brand, it might look like this. You put in the base, and then your exponent button might look like that, x to the y power, and then you put in the exponent of 12 equals. And if you don't have a calculator with an exponent button, you can use the multiply 12 times, but count out carefully how many times you enter the 1.025. So how are you going to do it? Use your calculator and get an answer for the parentheses raised to the 12th power. So when I do that, the 3,000 will stay in front of the parentheses for one last step. Then 1.025 times itself 12 times. I'll make sure my calculator screen is clear. I'll enter the 1.025 first, press an exponent button that'll look like one of those two, put in the 12, press equals, and my calculator says the result of that exponent is 1.344888824. Now, that's a lot of places after the decimal, and I do not need all those places. And I will round it, but not yet. For now, I'm just going to leave them. This number is on the screen of my calculator now. There's only one thing left to do. multiply that result times 3,000. So why clear this and enter the same number in again? Just leave it. Leave it on the screen. Hit times 3,000 equals, and my calculator says that A is equal to 4034.666473. Now again, this is an amount of money. So more than 2 places after the decimal for money really has no meaning. So past the 66 cents, it means nothing. But because the third digit out is big enough, I'm actually going to round it to a 67 cents and then chop off the rest of the digits. So my final answer, I'll use a dollar symbol, $4,034.67. So that's the amount of money. John invests $3,000 now at 10% compounded quarterly. In 3 years, that $3,000 is going to grow to $4,034.67.